Alright guys, let me give you a quick short review real quick because I'm busy playing Dark Souls and I am dying like a motherfucker. Okay. So the show opens up with Matt Hardy talking to George, his Giraffy, and after that he has seen in the compound with Brother Nero where basically Matt Hardy gives Jeff Hardy his abilities, some shit like that, and then Matt teleports to Egypt because apparently that's where he needs to go, back to his roots. After that we have a in-ring segment. Cody, Brandy, and Moose. Cody talks about mentions the places he has been while he was gone, and that the actual reason he is back is because of Brandy. Brandy thanks Cody for the wrestle she is today and was able to stand up against Decay because of Moose. So then Cody brings out Moose to personally thank him. Moose, tells Cody, "Yo, you got my number. Brandy has his number. If something's up, call me and I got your back." And then here's where the twist happens because Cody was acting all uncomfortable with the idea that Brandy had Moose's number. So you know where this goes to, and the whole way Cody was talking and his body language and all that's when you already knew something was about to fucking happen, and it really did, because that's what the part where Cody turned heel. He kicked Moose in the nuts and started beating him up, and that's how the segment ended. And this is the second time that Cody turned heel, because he turned heel also at Ring of Honor when he was wrestling. I think it was Christopher Daniels. I don't know which pay-per-view it was anymore. I don't know if it was Best in the World or an anniversary one, I don't know, but he was wrestling Christopher Daniels, where it was similar to this that he did with Moose, where he kicked Christopher Daniels in the nuts, got himself disqualified, and then he mocked Steve Corino, which started a feud. So this is his second heel turn. So yeah, I'm guessing we're gonna get a feud between these two now, which is great, I guess. After that, we have a not so match, because this wasn't really a match. They weren't really wrestling. Tyrus versus Eli Drake, basically. So long story short, basically what happened, Eli Drake told Tyrus he's gonna raise his salary, or gonna give him a raise, something like that. All he has to do is shake his hand, and Eli Drake will forget about everything that happened. Tyrus then was like, "I'm not gonna shake your hand, but I will give you a hug." So we got that. With that, he accepts the offer. Yeah, I don't know what the hell that was all about. They could have done this in a backstage segment or something like that. This is definitely time wasting, if you ask me, if you have to do something like this in a ring where they supposedly need to wrestle. They could have done this too in another Fact of Life segment, but time filling. Then we go back to the Hardys, where they are seen in the compound. Matt Hardy teleports back into the compound dressed as an Egyptian, and then they both now teleport to, what's the place again? Mid-Atlantic, which the match is later. Then we had another in-ring segment with Jade and Rosemary. Long story short, Jade says her war between Rosemary is far from over. Rosemary comes out. She basically says they are finished. The case finished with Jade. Jade then says no, because then she offers Jade a last knockout standing match, and Rosemary accepts. So we're gonna have another good match between these two. Hopefully a lot more things will be used. Obviously hopefully weapons will be used, because not always is it that when you have these last man standing matches, or in this case last knockouts matches, standing matches, you have where objects are being used and such. Then we have another match, Bram versus Jesse Goddard. This was an average match, nothing too special or anything like that. This is the second member that Jesse Goddard has won. Sorry, and I'm guessing they're definitely setting something up. I don't know what it is, but having Jesse Goddard win another member is definitely setting something up. So I'm guessing now we're gonna have Jesse Carter versus James Storm. And then we go to the Hardys, where they are in Mid-Atlantic, where they arrive, like teleported into the guy's locker room, and you had all the guys brawling and shit, and then they were taken to the tag team champions Mathis and Rage, I guess. I couldn't really follow the match because of how it was edited and cut, but again, this crowd was an arena or whatever you want to call it, was packed the same way the one from Mexico. If only the crowd could be just like the Impact Zone could be crowded and packed just like the indie shows. And that's the thing. You look at these indie shows and they always have a fucking packed fucking show, and then you look at Impact, so it's like, where are all these real fans? Because I'm pretty sure Florida must have a lot of TNA fans, and I've been talking about this a dozen times ever since I started this YouTube video, where you have wrestling fans that don't go to the shows, don't buy any merchandise or whatever the fuck. It's like, okay, if I lived in Florida, Impact Wrestling would see my face every fucking week. I would probably never miss a fucking show. That's how much I would be willing to go. And the Impact Zone is a lot smaller than a lot of these indie promotions, and still they can get a full. Yeah, it bothers me. I don't know. But anyways, it looked like an awesome match. Obviously, the Hardys won. Too fucking predicted this expedition thing, I'm telling you. So yeah. After that, we had another match. Bad Bones making his debut. I only saw like one match of this guy when I got bored. There was a time when I got bored, so I like signed in to my World Wrestling Network Live account. Ordered one pay-per-view, just around. I don't know which promotion it was again, but Bad Bones was in this matchup in this card. He was okay. I guess I'm gonna have to see a lot more to see how really good he is and his promos or whatever. So, but Bad Bones against Josh Barnett. Josh Barnett did really well, if you ask me. He did a really nasty power bomb. This shit looks sick as fuck. He also did and then he did a submission move. He also did another, I don't know what it was, a body to body suplex or slam or whatever you want to call it, but he did really well, better than when King Mo and Rampage Jackson were on the fucking show. They weren't even wrestling, but they actually had Josh Barnett wrestle, so it's a good thing, and he did really well. So Josh Barnett got the win. Next week we have him against Bobby Lashley. Those that were at the taping already know who won, and I don't want that spoiler unless I ask you to, and I don't want it. No need to. So after that we have DJC versus Trevor Lee for the 2 billion fucking time. It was a good match though, either way. Regardless of the amount of times they have wrestled, they still deliver a good match. At the end of the day, that's what's important, right? But Trevor Lee got the win. After that, Trevor Lee was gonna do the same thing he did with him with his leg, but then Andrew Everett came to the rescue, attacking Trevor Lee. He did a reverse Hurricane Rana, and Trevor Lee took that shit like a fucking champ. He spiked the fuck out of that fucking move. And then after that, Andrew did a shooting star press, and that's how the segment ended. Andrew Everett can do a lot more shit. He does things similar to what Will Ospreay does, and Ricochet. However, I would say the one guy, if it are moves that no other wrestler can do, is Amazing Red. Amazing Red is literally the guy that does all the fucking moves you should probably have never seen in your fucking life. Amazing Red is literally amazing. That guy is the innovator of moves, to put it like that. Amazing Red does some really crazy shit, you know. But then after that we had the wedding, which in my opinion was indeed a way better wedding than the one from ODB and Eric Young, and if you can remember the one from Bully Ray and Brooke Hogan, where that one was the one where Taz revealed he was a Aces and Eights member, but this one was definitely really good, and I think the most thing I'm gonna give the audience credit for once. They were really invested into this segment, so I'm guessing their involvement helped a lot with this segment because they were really fucking loud. Holy shit, you know. So good on them, you know. They are actually the ones that made it work and made it look good, if you ask me. But Aaron Rex was a guest and Rockstar Spud. You all know that Braxton Sutton wasn't going to marry her, so when the Pandit or whatever the fuck you call his name told them to say the yes word, Braxton Sutton said no, he's not going to marry Lauren Finesse, and I love the way how Lauren, her acting was in this segment after Braxton said that he's not going to marry Lauren Finesse. She was acting really crazy, having a mental breakdown, especially the ending where she went completely, you know, crazy metal breakdown where she was drinking the champagne on the ground and like you had Braxton start kissing Ellie. That was really fucking funny. But then obviously a fight broke out, but then Brooke Desmarco came to attack Sienna, and you had Robbie E coming out to attack. Yeah, I don't know what Robbie E was doing out there, but that's how that show ended. And if I were to have to give the highlight of the show, then it would be definitely this segment, because I wasn't really feeling last night's show, to be honest. Everything was so average, except for the last segment, and kind of like Josh Barnett, his debut too, and how he did things, and the X Division match. But I wasn't really, if I had to give the show a rating, I would give it a 6. But thanks to the wedding segment, I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10 instead, because I really liked how it ended. It was really good. I enjoyed it. I was entertained. So finally, hopefully, this whole thing with Ellie and Maria is over. Thank you for watching. Now, if you excuse me, I'm gonna go back to dying a dozen fucking times, because that is what Dark Souls is all about. And see you next week.